from Los Angeles, California, I'm Dr. Ryan Alba. It seems with each passing week, there is more and more pressure on the Department of Justice to investigate the disgraced former President Donald Trump for multiple crimes. In fact, multiple members of the January 6th committee have grown impatient, arguing that their hearings have turned up more than enough evidence to warrant a criminal investigation. The Republican Adam Kinzinger and Democrat Elaine Luria on the Sunday show reiterated the fact that during the last few months and since the start of the January 6th committee's work, the presentation of evidence has caused a significant amount of movement in the Department of Justice. They believe that there is evidence of crimes going all the way up to Donald Trump, and hope that Merrick Garland has an open criminal investigation into Donald Trump. Now, despite mounting pressure from both the public and the overwhelming evidence presented by the January 6th committee, Merrick Garland has only been able to offer vague platitudes in response.
Okay, look, no person is above the law in this country. Nothing stops us.
Even a former president.
I don't know how to, maybe I'll say that again. No person is above the law in this country. I can't say it any more clearly than that. There is nothing in the principles of prosecution, in any other factors which prevent us from investigating anyone who's criminally responsible for an attempt to undo a democratic election.
Now, I admit there are obstacles in Garland's way, both political and legal. The Justice Department has never before launched a criminal probe into a former president. A DOJ investigation of Trump could further divide and even inflame an already polarized nation. There's also the argument that the department is supposed to be politically impartial and neutral, which would make it more difficult to go after a former Republican president who might well be the 2024 GOP presidential nominee. But Charles Blow pushes back against those concerns in his latest New York Times opinion piece, and I quote, "Can the country afford not to prosecute Trump? I believe the answer is no. He has learned from his failures and is now more dangerous than ever. He has learned that the political system is incapable of holding him accountable. He could try to extort a foreign nation for political gain and not be removed from office. He can attempt a coup and not be removed from office." Now, some may suggest being patient as the Justice Department goes after smaller fish before going after the white whale. There might even be some truth to that. The DOJ has taken actions against multiple rioters and just prosecuted Steve Bannon last week for contempt of Congress. But the whole bottom-up approach from the DOJ has been criticized by, among others, former federal prosecutors and prosecutor Andrew Weissman, one of the special counsel Robert Mueller's top deputies.
Op-ed he says about the DOJ strategy, quote, "That is actually the wrong approach for investigating the January 6th insurrection. That approach sees the attack on the Capitol as a single event, an isolated riot, separate from other efforts by Donald Trump and his allies to overturn the election. The hearings should inspire the Justice Department to rethink its approach. A myopic focus, on the January 6th riot is not the way to proceed if you are trying to follow the facts where they lead and to hold people at any level criminally accountable, as Attorney General Merrick Garland promised."
Now, the longer Merrick Garland, that is the DOJ, holds off going after Trump, the harder it becomes and the more emboldened Trump becomes. This week, the disgraced, twice impeached former president is brazenly and shamelessly return to the nation's capital today on Tuesday for his first speech since leaving office. And why wouldn't he? The last one he gave in DC helped incite an armed insurrection on the Capitol, and he has faced no consequences for it. To see more videos like this and to support my work, click the subscribe button here on the screen. You may also follow me on Medium, where I write about the most important topics daily, or check out my podcast, Dr. Ryan Alba Show, on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast.